Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Be Determined. Today we are going to be going over the Aurora armor set. As you can see, I'm here with some members from my chat. We're recording this video live on stream, so if you want to check out some videos early, be sure to tune into the streams when I do them on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, nice. Good job, boys. W intro. So I finally got my hands on a full Aurora set not too long ago while doing some Kuja runs. I wanted to drop every piece myself, and it took me 4 months to drop an Aurora helmet. But ideally, it would be Breeze with Mana Pool, but I don't even have either of those on the helmet. I have Mana Pool on the chest plate and Breeze on the leggings and boots, but those pieces are super expensive right now. If you look up Aurora, to find one with even one of those pieces, this one's going for 500k. That's actually a steal, honestly, but to find a Breeze and a Mana Pool armor piece is very difficult. Like, I'm looking through, and here's one for 4 million coins. They cost about 4 million coins a piece. That is ridiculous. But let's go ahead and test out this bad boy. We're gonna pop it on. Here we go. We'll be using a sheep pet for our damage test today, and for our magic weapon of choice, we actually have quite a few options. I do have a spirit scepter right here, which is my usual magic weapon, but I also have a frozen scythe, which we'll probably be using. Let's test them both out real quick. We'll also use a fire veil wand, just because that one is a very useful weapon that a lot of people are using nowadays. Now, with this setup, we currently have 1,699 mana while we're holding our heroic spirit scepter. If we hold our grappling hook, we have 1,261 mana. But you can see all these mobs have particles around them because of the other weapon of choice that is going to be your main choice when you're using this armor set, the heroic Aurora staff. I got one of these a while ago, and I was going to make a museum mastery video on it, and then I realized it doesn't actually go in the museum. But we will switch to the siding reforge later. But the reason that these guys have the particles around them is because of the Aurora staff's ability. It has 3 different runes that you can swap between. When you click, it'll show you in the bottom here next to your mana. Left click is Virtuoso, then it's Mediator, and then it's Defender. So for these purple mobs, you want to use Virtuoso. You deal a little bit more damage, but you'll see if I use that on this zombie, it's going to be like 11,000 less damage. But since this guy has fire around him, we'll use Mediator, right click, and it's back up to that extra damage. Then this guy has like the sharpness effect around him, so if we swap to Defender, then we get that extra damage with him as well. Now let's try it out with the Frozen Scythe real quick, see how we do with that. Only 23,000. The Aurora Staff is way stronger. How about the Fire Veil wand? How much are we doing with the Fire Veil? 173,000, not too bad. It's kind of a passive extra damage buff. Very nice. How about with our Spirit Scepter? We're doing 53,000. Not too bad at all. Now, people in chat are suggesting I try the Staff of the Volcano, so let's try that out real quick. One that I have here is not too strong, but let's see how it does. Oh my goodness, 545,000 damage. Is that what that was? It has a 30-second cooldown, and it costs half your health, but that was a lot of damage. Maybe next time we'll actually be able to see through the lightning how much damage it did exactly. But this is with the hurtful reforge that I have on right now, so we don't even have a good magic reforge on, which we will swap to shortly. Plus, we'll get necrotic on this armor set, and it will help out quite a bit. Let's go ahead and swap our reforge over to the sided reforge. This is a super cheap reforge, really good for magic damage. And we can go through all of these, but you see sided gives 819 intelligence. Nothing else in here is nearly that high, so we're going to be using that today. Now, let's see how much we deal. We have 2,000 mana without holding anything in our hands. Once we put the Aurora Staff in our hands, it goes up to 2,400 mana because we have Heroic on it. But let's go ahead and make sure we're on Mediator, see how much damage we do to this guy. 342,000 damage. And then if we have the wrong rune when we attack something, we deal 326,000. So that 800 intelligence increase and the 3% ability damage just buffed us by quite a bit. We were dealing like 240,000 before. This is much better, but we can get even better than this. We don't even have a reforge on our Aurora set yet. We'll be using 2 of the power stones that we need, or the reforge stones. Here in low reforges, we're looking for the Necromancer's Brooch. We are going to buy 4 of these for 160k, and then let's pop it onto this Aurora set real fast. 300,000 coins per piece. Okay, well, that's a little bit more pricey than I was hoping for. Actually, chat is reminding me that loving is better for the chest plate, so we'll actually do that real quick. All right, now we've got it. Hopefully this isn't ridiculously expensive on our armor to apply it, but it's looking pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Applying Reforges is very expensive, but it is also very worth it. There we go, got necrotic on everything. Now let's go ahead and pop on some of the enchants that we're gonna need on the armor set. Go ahead and put growth 5 as well as protection 5 on this bad boy. This armor set does have slots, but it's pretty expensive to get those on there, so we might be ignoring those today. I don't even have those on my main crimson gear that I use. So now without the armor on, we have 1,585 intelligence. Now once we pop the armor on, it goes up to 2,630, so about 1,000 intelligence increase. Very, very nice. If we hold our Aurora staff, it's up to 3,000, but we were dealing 300 and I believe 80,000-ish damage last time before we reforged this gear. Now let's see how we do with the Aurora staff. 429,000, not too bad. And again, I don't have the best setup on my equipment either. If you get really good mana pool equipment, that's going to help out quite a bit. We're dealing 400,000 damage with this right now. That's pretty crazy. Imagine if we had a Hyperion. Now that would be quite the different experience. Plus, considering this is base Aurora armor, I have 0 stars on this. This could go up so ridiculously high. This is a lot more damage than I deal currently with my crimson gear, and I have that on hot tier, and I don't even have all my equipment maxed or even have the gem slots on this thing unlocked. So that is pretty crazy for how much damage we're dealing right now. Try this Staff of the Volcano one more time. 1 million damage. That was 1,070,000 damage. Staff of the Volcano with this kind of broken just a little bit. You can literally use that strategy just to deal your damage to mob. Like on the Crimson Isle, when you go to key grind, you can just go up, deal 1 million damage with Staff of the Volcano, and then go on to the next boss. Super easy. Very, very, very good way to get keys. Now, the set is not usable in dungeons, so it is only for outside of dungeons. I think it will be a lot more viable once we get our hands on the higher tiers of the Kudra boss. But let's actually see how we do with Wither Goggles. That is a good suggestion from Mr. Wolfflash. Let's see how that does. We did 430,000 damage last time. Let's see how we do with this. 558. Holy cow. And we're not even worrying about the stacking on this setup right now. You can see it stacks right here in the bottom left, just like Crimson and Terror. Before we get to the stacking part, we're dealing this much damage. Granted, to get it to stack, you do have to hit mobs with the correct rune, so it is a little bit of a pain to make sure that you're getting that right rune every single time. But once we get it to the max, it starts exploding on hit, which means it deals a little bit more damage, 533, and then it's gonna hit more mobs within the proximity of it and just make things a little more explosive. To be dealing this much damage outside of dungeons is actually insane, and I only have like 639 magic power. You can get much more magical power, which will increase your intelligence by quite a bit. And then once I kind of learn the order of the rune swaps, then this will get a lot easier to get your stacks up, be able to deal that extra damage a lot sooner. But now it's exploding on impact and it's dealing so much damage. Holy cow, 575,000. Let's go over to the Crimson Isle, see how we do there. You'll see these guys still have the runes on them as well. And I'm dealing 630,000 damage to that guy, 700,000 to this one. Holy cow, that is some insane damage right there. And even when I'm not using the right rune, I'm still 3-shotting. The explosive perk honestly doesn't seem to matter that much. Just kind of lets you deal a little more damage than usual, but it's not that much of a buff. Let's see if we can one-shot this magma cube here. There we go. Very nice. One-shotted by the Staff of the Volcano. You can use that every 30 seconds to just one-shot whatever mob you want. Pretty crazy. Now, the big issue I am seeing on this is the cooldown on the Aurora staff is way too long, in my opinion. All right, this is me holding down right-click right here, and that is how slow it shoots. It's so slow. It is some insane damage, but if we get the cooldown on that reduced, that would help out quite a lot, which I believe there is a way that you can reduce cooldowns on some of these mana weapons now. We don't even have ultimate wise on this thing either, so if we put that on, we'd have a lot more mana. But let's also check out our Fire Veil wand, see how much damage we do to this guy. 500,000. I have to be pretty close to get that damage dealt, but that is some pretty crazy damage if you can avoid dying. All around, this set seems to be really good. I know it can't be used in dungeons, so that makes it a little less viable, but it's going to be really good for the future updates that we get that are outside of dungeons, and especially for the upcoming Kudras. I do feel like the Aurora staff is a little bit weak, but I know I haven't maxed it out yet. Once we get a Hyperion with this set, we're just going to be destroying every mob in anywhere close to our vicinity. All right, now is the part of the video where we museum it. So let's see what we think the price is going to be. We'll take a look here at the other sets that we have. We've already put in the Crimson Armor set, which value is unknown because I have it at hot tier. Then there's the Fervor set, which is valued at 1.6 mil. And the Terror set, which is valued at 3 mil. I have a feeling this set's going to be a bit higher than all of those, so I'm going to say 5 mil. What are we thinking in the chat? Yeah, 5 mil. Eero agrees with me. 5 mil. Whether Monarch's saying 6 mil, he might be a bit closer. All right, let's donate it. See how close we are. 2.79 mil, says Wolf Flash. All right, there's our last chance to see who's right. It is 2.56 mil. So Flash was the closest. I thought it'd be a lot more expensive. There we go. Aurora set right here in our museum, which puts us at 78.7% of our museum completed. We only have 60 more items to go, which is honestly not that much, and our value is up to 469 million coins, and I don't even have my Divin's armor in here, so you know we got the hookups right now. That is all for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what item we should do next in this series. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.